The preceding program was brought to you in part by FTD. FTD.com for all of your gift-giving needs. Welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti. My guest this evening is Steve Kare from the Paul Dostie Foundation. Sir,
how are you?
Welcome. Good. How are you? Long time no see.
Yeah, good to see you.
Well, thanks for coming down. A long time no see. It's been about a year.
It's always about this time of year.
It is always about this time of year. So, Steve, tell us a little bit about yourself and the foundation.
Oh, myself. Well, I'll talk about the foundation.
Okay.
Paul Dostie was my brother-in-law, and this past May 25th will represent 4 years since he passed from glioblastoma. And right about that time, we put the foundation together to kind of keep his memory alive.
Okay.
So I call him, he's my brother-in-law, but really more like my brother. I mean, we were very close, and we're a very close family. So we wanted to keep his kindness kind of persona alive, and that's why we came up with the Paul Dostie Kare, K-A-R-E, kindness always rewards everyone. That's how the mantra kind of came to be.
Okay. And what type of guy was Paul like?
He was, I think I always answer it this way. He could have been, well, he was a master mechanic, probably the best transmission mechanic that there is. You talked to a lot of the auto mechanic shops around the shoreline. They'll say, you know, when I had a real problem, I would call Paul because he knew all about transmission. So he was a master mechanic. He could have been a GQ model, very good-looking, guy.
Oh, yeah.
And he could have been a tight end for the New England Patriots because he was a really tough guy who had unbelievable endurance. So we kind of think he was suffering from this brain tumor for a lot longer than when the key symptoms kind of showed up. So and then in the course of working, he bought the transmission shop from his dad, who started it in 1958. Okay. And he was just known for being this really nice guy. I mean, he also was kind of known for giving a lot of the work away to folks. He'd cut deals with people if they couldn't afford, to pay the cost of having their car fixed, et cetera.
Okay.
So, that's kind of where the kindness kind of came out. As a father of 3 girls with one set of twins. Really great guy, very, very missed.
Now, let's talk about the foundation and a little bit of background about the foundation and exactly what you guys do. Yeah,
so we've been in existence for roughly 4 years, and our mission is to help families who are struggling financially due to disease. And the 2 diseases we kind of focus on are glioblastoma or brain tumors, and HCM, which is a cardiac congenital cardiac disease that Paul's daughter Allie has. And what we do is we try to find families who are struggling, and we give at least one $5,000 grant out every month. And when we did that in 2023, and our goal for 2024 was to get to 2 $5,000 grants per month, and we accomplished that goal this year. So, and then the other thing we do is once a year we try to find some backyard mechanic, some kid that's trying to become a auto technician, because Paul was famous for finding backyard mechanics and turning them into really good auto mechanics.
Okay.
And we give a scholarship to one student. We try to find one per year that the scholarship could be towards attending the trade school, or sometimes we've bought tools for a kid that's getting started.
And I'm assuming tools are not cheap.
No, no. So I mean, that's a good head start for somebody that's that's trying to get started in the automotive industry.
Right. Now, can the two types of cancer that you guys focus on, can you tell us maybe a little bit about each?
Well, I'm not a physician.
That's okay.
But glioblastoma is one of the more common brain tumors, and the median survival, I believe, is around 17 to 19 months.
Okay.
When it's diagnosed, and it's and Paul lived 19 months from the time he was diagnosed. But I really think he was suffering from it way before he really showed us the symptoms that got him to the doctor. So it's one of the more deadly forms of cancer, and the thing that's that I always think about when it comes to supporting these families is we know that most of the folks that have this disease are going to pass away,
right.
But the families still struggle financially. So we're helping the families as much as we are helping the actual patient. And the other disease that we focus on is HCM, which is hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, a mouthful. But it's basically a hereditary disease that causes the heart to thicken, and usually leads to symptoms that require, in many cases, a heart transplant. So we've helped quite a few folks in that category, but most of our support is on the glioblastoma side. Like, I was looking at the last 10 families we helped, and I think eight of them were glio, and 2 of them were HCM. So it's mainly glioblastoma.
Wow. And now, how did the idea of the music festival come about?
Right after Paul's brain surgery, we held an event at Thimble Island Brewery in Brantford, and we had it was a fundraising event for Paul, and the response was overwhelming. I mean, we had 1,000 people, packed into Thimble Island Brewery, and we were very successful at raising some funds to help him through some of his issues and financially. And Paul used to say to us all the time that, hey, I got this, we're gonna beat this, and then we're gonna have a big party. So the idea came that unfortunately Paul didn't beat it,
right?
But let's throw him a big party every year. So that's kind of the way it came to be. So we throw him a big party on the second Saturday of June every year since he's passed.
And this year, the event, I believe we have a poster up.
Yep, there you go.
Let's talk.
This year,
this
year our event is held on June 14th at the Guilford Fairgrounds. Gates open at 3, and we have five bands playing, and we have a headliner, which is a Jimmy Buffett band called Changes in Latitudes, which we're excited about, and we're getting a lot of excitement from folks about listening to some Jimmy Buffett in June at the Guilford Fairgrounds. But also we've had some regular local bands that have supported us from the very beginning. So there's 4 of those bands as well. A band called Java Groove, a band called the B-Sides, a band called Shot Down, and the band called The Ticket. So those folks have been most of those bands have been loyal, regular supporters of the foundation and come out for free every year.
Wow.
This year, the Changes in Latitudes band is being sponsored by Premier Kia and Subaru in Brantford.
Brantford, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So they were very gracious in donating the funds required to bring that band into the fairgrounds.
And hopefully we get weather like we're having today.
Yeah, well, that's.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, we always say that Paul's job is to supply us with weather, and so far everyone we've had so far we've had good weather. So hopefully we'll get another one. I haven't looked at the weather yet, so.
No, I haven't either. So now it's
just one other thing
Yeah.
on the event.
Yeah,
I
go
would
for it.
say we've had tremendous support from sponsors from all over the shoreline.
Okay.
And we have a banner on our stage that will show all the logos from all the bands or the companies that sponsored, and it's tremendous. The amount of funds we've raised in advance has been, I'm in awe of it.
Yeah.
We also have some support from the East Rock Brewery is supplying some beer for the event, and we've got a supplier for the wine and also for some margaritas that we're going to be selling at the event. And then there's a huge silent auction as well, and a lot of local vendors that couldn't afford to be a corporate sponsor have been generous with items for the silent auction, which we think it'll probably be the biggest one we've ever had.
You know what? Let's talk about the silent auction and everything during the next segment.
Sounds
Would
good.
you mind sticking around for a break?
Happy to.
All right, we'll be right back.
Scammers know that losing weight and getting in shape is one of the most popular goals. This popularity has led to a slew of scams involving vitamins, supplements, and weight loss formulas. Always be wary of advertisements and customer endorsements promising miracle results or immediate weight loss. Don't be quick to trust endorsements. Many scammers use pictures of celebrities or well-known company logos without their permission. Avoid products that claim to help lose weight without diet or exercise. Check a product's ingredients with the FDA and research the company with bbb.org before purchasing.
Hey there. I want to make sure you're okay to drive. Have you had anything to drink? Okay, I need you to follow this light with your eyes only. Now, place your left foot on the line like this. Now take your right foot and place it in front of your left foot.
What's on the line when you drink and drive? Your money, your job, your freedom.
There's only one.
Basically, your life.
You are under arrest for driving under the influence.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti, sitting here with Steve Terreri from the Paul Dostie Foundation. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for sticking around. So we were talking a little bit about, in the first segment, the foundation, and I believe there's another poster that we want to, or a flyer that we want to bring up on the screen to talk about what we mentioned.
Sure, happy
earlier.
to do that. So while we're doing that, one of the other things I'd like people to think about when it comes to this foundation and the whole situation regarding the disease and Paul. Paul used to tell us also, because of this happening to him at age 59, that we all should kind of pump the brakes as a mechanic. He used the mechanic term. Pump your brakes and kind of smell the roses, because you never know what might happen around the corner. And who knew at 59 years old he would be gone. So I guess that's another message we try to mention and live at the event. It's a happy event. We try to make people feel good about what they're doing to help support this cause. I don't know if you have
I believe we have the poster up. There you go.
Oh, great. This is one of my favorite handouts that the president of the organization put together for me. Sorry.
Okay. That's all right.
So this is all the faces of the folks we've helped since we started, and in terms of stats, that it says we've helped 58 families, and we've raised $258,000. But actually, the number is over 300,000, and the number of families is in the low 60s. I believe it's 62.
Okay.
So, it's just and when I show that to sponsors, they feel really good about what they're doing to help our organization. Linda Kelly, or Linda Dostie, is the one that helped put that together, and it's been very helpful.
It's a very moving piece.
It is.
It is.
It is. It is.
Wow. And as far as the organization goes, what else would you like to tell people about the organization?
Well, I guess if Linda was sitting here, she might say something different than what I'm going to say.
Okay.
I want to be at someday to be like Tunnels to Tower, T2T.org, and we got big TV ads, and we're raising a lot more money because there's so many people. I mean, for a disease like glioblastoma, where folks say it's a rare disease, we seem to find it very easily and frequently. So, there's way more folks out there that need help that we can actually help. Okay. So we're only helping a fraction. So I would really like to see the foundation grow, appropriately grow. We don't, this is a completely voluntary organization. There's no salaries or anything like that. We try to look at our bank account and exhaust it by CareFest every year so that we're replenishing it.
Gotcha.
And so, so I want to continue to do that. And, we started with trying to do one $5,000 grant a month, and we accomplished that. Last year we did two $5,000 grants a month, and we accomplished that. And so this year, obviously we want to do 3, and the next year 4, and someday maybe get to the point where we have a kind of a nationally known spokesperson that will help drive even more donations, and maybe even a bigger event at the fairgrounds.
And the event is when again?
It's Saturday, June 14th.
Okay.
Gates open at 3.
Okay.
Bands will start promptly at 4.
Okay.
And we'll be done at 10 o'clock.
Okay. And as far as parking's pretty easy down at the fairgrounds, correct?
It's excellent. Yeah, it's plenty of parking there. I'd love for it to be so full that you can't find a parking space, but I think we're a little ways from that. But,
maybe next year.
Wishful thinking.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, we're thinking that Jimmy Buffett's going to attract a good amount of folks. People are excited about that.
Have you heard the band?
I have. Yes, they're very good.
Are they? Okay.
Excellent. In fact, I've been told that Jimmy Buffett actually played with them at one of the Jimmy Buffett events. I guess he was known for doing that, showing up and playing with a tribute band when he was alive.
Really? Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's neat.
So,
now, what other types of bands can we expect to hear during the event?
All the bands are pretty much soft rock to country rock. I think Shot Down is more of a country band. Okay. The Ticket is more of a Jackson Brown, Eagles kind of vibe. Java Groove is kind of like the way it sounds, kind of jazzy rock. So it's a pretty good variety of music.
Right.
And it's a good family event too. A lot of families will come, and the kids will be dancing to all the music. All my grandkids will be there. They love the event. So it's a good family-friendly event.
Absolutely. Now, one thing we didn't mention yet, your social media pages and how people can get
please
more information.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be wonderful.
Go for it. And I believe let's start with the website, which is
www.pdcare.org, which is a lot shorter than our first website, so it should be much easier to remember. And then we also have social media, Facebook and Instagram, et cetera.
Yeah. There's the Instagram page right there.
There we go. Look at that.
There's
the magic of TV.
Exactly. And now, what types of information can people find on the website?
You'll find our mission, probably stated maybe a little more eloquently than I spoke it.
That's okay.
But it's all there, our story. And then there's a section with each of the recipients and the story behind each of the recipients that have received a grant. Very well written. Linda Kelly wrote all of them. And then, there's a place where you can go to donate as well.
Right. And now, what is the mission of the organization? That's one thing we didn't talk about in the first segment.
Well, the mission is to help families struggling financially due to their disease, to help them with a grant. That's really what we're trying to accomplish.
Now, besides donation, what are some other ways people can get involved?
Well, we've volunteers that we had volunteers for the actual event, but I think we're pretty much nailed there. Really, financial support's really the most important thing for us to ask for from the public.
Right.
And any donation is acceptable. We're not, we actually did a mailing recently where we've got folks with, $5 and $10 donations that really wrote really nice messages for why they wanted to help us. And we keep all of them, and we value any donation that someone decides to make.
Now, all of the families you've donated to, do you have a favorite story that sticks with you?
Oh boy, there's a couple. Well, one, it's kind of a sad story actually. We had recently a family with a brain tumor, a child with a brain tumor, and then another child with another cancer diagnosis, and the father couldn't take the stress of the whole thing and actually committed suicide. And we came in with a grant to help the mother with the two kids get through a pretty rough time. There was another story about a family. We connected with the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and got a call from one of the physicians that I know there, where there was a mother with ovarian cancer and then two daughters with different types of neurologic cancers. And one of the daughters passed away from the treatment, a bone marrow transplant, but the other was alive, and the mother was too, but they both were losing their apartment. They had no really funds to kind of help manage their everyday life.
Yeah.
And so we supported that family and got them enough money to kind of get back on the road to being supported and having a place to live and all that kind of thing. So there's a bunch of those kind of most of the glioblastoma stories start out really happy and supporting the patient and the family, and then the disease is deadly, and then we're there to help the family kind of get through that tough time.
And all the money raised stays locally, correct?
Most of it, yes, either around the shoreline, but we also have helped patients as far away as Texas, and I believe we had one out in Chicago. So it's not just the shoreline, but we look for stories from all the different websites, and we get a lot of word of mouth referrals, and some are local.
Now, if Paul was alive today, what would he think of the work that the organization is doing?
Oh, he'd be blown away by it. He would think we were doing a great job. It's this kind of thing he actually did do when he was alive. He had a mechanic that worked for him in the shop that passed away from a cancer, and Paul paid his wife's his salary to his wife for a couple years after he had passed away. So this is the kind of stuff that Paul would have done. He would have been right there with helping us with both hands.
Now we've got a little bit more time left, so let's recap the event.
The event will be June 14th
Okay.
at the Guilford Fairgrounds, Care Fest 2025. We look forward to having you all show up. Great band, Changes in Latitude will be the headliner, and we have 4 other bands, and beer, wine, silent auction, good family event. Look forward to having you all there.
And now let's also talk about the website and social media one more time.
Our website is www.pdcare.org, and you can go on that website and you can learn our story, read more about some of our recipients, and if you're so inclined, you can make a donation right from that website.
And I believe we're on social media as well, as far as Facebook and Instagram.
Yep, we have a very active social media person. You'll see our face. If you follow us, you'll see a lot of posts on Facebook and Instagram.
All right. Well, Steve Gerari from the Paul Dostie Foundation, I want to thank you for coming down, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Thank you for always being there to help us and give us this opportunity every year. So I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Not a problem. Thanks, Steve. On behalf of Steve, I'm Pete Mezzetti. Thanks, good night, and we'll see you next week. The preceding program was brought to you in part by FTD. FTD.com for all of your gift-giving needs.